Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you guys ever wondered if you could repurpose these little pieces of soap that we have left over that normally we throw in the trash? About 2 years ago, I started saving these, hoping that I could repurpose them, and I just kept sticking them into sandwich bags in a drawer in my bathroom. I had 2 sandwich size bags full, and I said it was time to find out if I can repurpose them. So I did some research and I found out there's 2 different ways that we could do this. So today we're going to try one of them. So the other day I ground these down. I used just a cheap cheese grater, and I ground down all of the soaps. Now these are all different brands of soaps that we have. When they're dry, I stuck them in the bag. You want to make sure they're totally dry and debris free, and then I ground them down. You're going to see chunks of different colors in there. I decided to grate mine because I figured that would be easier to melt than you could cut them into tiny chunks, but I think it's going to take a little bit longer to work with. So let's get started. Okay, so I turned the heat on to medium-low. I am only going to do a little bit at a time just to see how this works. You are also going to need a little bit of water so that it doesn't burn. So just grab a little bit. We don't want a lot, just enough to keep it from burning, because we want all the moisture to come out of this, evaporate. So the other way, you could use like a double broiler method, but that way I read was roughly 20 minutes to get this done, and this way I had read it's only a couple minutes, so I thought I would try this method first. I think it needs just a tad bit more water. Oh, I can see it melting a little. See how it's starting to stick together? It's just what we want. So it's not going to become liquid. It's just going to kind of squish together. Look at that. It smells really good. That looks about what I'm thinking it should look like. Okay, so I'm going to turn the heat off. Okay, so I just took a silicone mold. So this is the texture. We're just going to stick it inside one of these molds and press it down. Whoops. I'm going to pack it down really tight. So I just wanted to point out too, I had a few pieces that are slivers rather than shredded. I don't know if you can see there. Those ones are not melting down at the same time as the shredded parts. I'm not even worrying about it because they're all being squished into another bar of soap. So Yeah, you're going to see a few chunks in there that aren't actually melting. I don't know if you guys can see that very well there. And really, it doesn't matter. It's just a chunk of soap, and I'm going to squish it, pack it down as much as I can. I guess it's just preference, but I actually do think that grating it is worth doing, but also that grater that I'm using this for is going to only be for soap making from now on. I won't chance having cheese taste like soap. So there, that one is done and ready. I did these in about 5 smaller batches. You do need to work fairly quickly because it doesn't take long for them to start to harden and make it a little bit harder to work with. I also did turn the heat more to a medium so that it didn't take as long. And I would say roughly each batch probably took me around 2 or 3 minutes. And I stood there and I stirred pretty constantly. And yeah, so I'm very happy so far with the results of these. Okay, so we are all done. Ended up getting 10 soaps out of the little pieces. I never would have thought that I would have got this many. Now, are they the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? Definitely not. But they will be probably a couple months worth of soap for us. Anyways, the other thing that I watched on another YouTube channel was the soap that's left in the pan. It kind of hardens around. She added water to it, and it is still very sudsy. So I'm going to stick it in a little container and use it as hand soap for as long as I have it. So I thought that was great use out of the little pieces. I never would have thought so much. We were throwing so much good stuff away. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these sit out in their molds until tomorrow, and I'll check on them, and I'll let you see the finished product of those. So this I'm going to put in here. See how that sets? It is the next morning, so let's test these soaps. Okay. Should just pop out nicely. So there we go. Any little pieces I'll just put back in a bag for the next time I decide to do this. So some I did a better job on than others. This one I could have pushed it down a little bit more, but this one turned out fine. Like I said, not the prettiest things in the world, but they're solid. I will probably let them sit out for just a little bit longer to completely dry. But yeah, they're fine. Now this is another one. Just an example, make sure you squish them down a little bit harder than I did. So, you're also going to get this. There's a little orange sliver in there as well. You're going to see the different colors throughout, but that does not bother me whatsoever. Okay, so here we are, 10 brand new bars of soap. Just wanted to say thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope that inspired you to give this a try as well, and we will see you on the next video. Take care.